What's going on, everybody? Thursday night football bit earlier today, but plans changed for timing. But let's do it. Same stream as always, just on the early side, never a bad thing. Gives us actually a bit more time to like watch the Drew news come in, maybe get some more EV plays in. So I'm actually not too upset about it. So no Ty today. He's busy and had a couple of other scheduled things, so I had to get going early. But let's you guys know the drill right now. We're going to use every single boost, first touchdowns, find some EV, and get ready for tonight's game. Give me a second to tweet out that we are live. And we're also, as always, on Thursday using the fantastic Pick the Odds. So make sure if you're watching on X, I'm putting a link right under the stream right now to try Pick the Odds for free. And if you're watching on YouTube, as always, in the description, there's a link to try PTO for free. And just like that, boys, we're ready to go. So Dallas and the Lions. Everybody who was on stream yesterday, you guys know that I bet the Cowboys plus the 3.5. And as we take a look at PTO right now, there was some Dallas money today, not too long ago, honestly. And I mean, excuse me, some Detroit money, excuse me. Getting this to Detroit minus 3.5. Now there are juicy 3.5s, right? But with that being said, like I think I bet 114 yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. Worst price than Penny, worst price than Circa, MGM and Caesars right now. I bet the 114 at Novig, if I'm not mistaken. I'll confirm the price from yesterday in 1 second. Yeah, it was plus 3.5, 114. Better in market right now. 109 at Novig right here. Of course, the 110s even at Caesars and MGM. So there was a hit that came in on Detroit. What was the reasoning for that? Is honestly my question, right? Like that's obviously a rhetorical one. Some sharp out there, big fan of the Lions in terms of at market price and opted to make a wager, and that's why we're seeing what we saw from a spread move perspective, of course. But what I just am curious though, like what it was, like what are they seeing or modeling, et cetera, that we're not getting into, because the game day money has been interesting this year. I feel like there haven't been nearly as many like massive moves during game day as we've seen many times in the season. Of course, we have had some big games, but this is definitely one of the biggest ones we've seen so far. Not like a ton of movement as it only moved half a point, but obviously that is very meaningful as we're getting off that key number of 3. And I want to take a look and just keep monitoring. So I know that the Cowboys just upgraded a receiver, are the Lions, I mean, from their depth chart. So ASB, whether or not he's playing, is still up for debate. It's still TBD. I got a quote looking at Underdog right now. Dak Prescott on what he remembers from Cowboys last game in Detroit, that we lit them up. Lots of passing yards, about to do it again. I mean, I personally think Dallas will have a good time, and I bet them against the spread here, albeit at unfortunately a shitty number. Not a horrible number. I mean, 4 cents off market, still in between Penny and Circa. So I've made worse bets, but I'm curious how this total has moved also, because I talked about yesterday being a fan of the under for a few reasons. I didn't bet it, but now I think I might regret not betting it. We'll see what the market's telling us now. Because at 54.5, there were some even money 54.5s, and it looks like that still is where the market's at. Okay, maybe even some 55s. Like this under 55 at MGM, though, 55.5 here at Bookmaker looks to be the best in market. 109 at Novig looks pretty solid right there. 113 at Caesars, not too bad. So the market actually did go up another yard here, which I think is a bit interesting. I guess that could be some ASB ruling in, though I don't think he would move a total himself 1 point. Obviously, there has to be some market activity pushing that toward the over there. Somebody really liking that over and betting it up. But I still don't understand why. I really think this is just a Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery game, even if ASB goes, because while the Cowboys' run D has gotten a bit better, Quinn Williams has been great, and they've improved in a bunch of areas there. The Lions' path to success with ASB off an ankle, there's no way he's like even close to fully healthy. Like that doesn't go without saying there, but There's no way he's not like still hurt. And Jameson Williams is a WR1. Like that's not bringing really anybody confidence in my opinion here. So I want to look at some props before we dive into really anything else because I saw some EV both ways this morning on like Gibbs over rush attempts as well as Monty. But where I did make a bet and where's the market? 'Cause I got bet rushing receiving. I bet Montgomery over rushing receiving. There was some EV that's like I think like 3.8% on the EV calcs at that point. Let's see if it's still there. This was a lot earlier. Where's rush plus rec? Scrimmage yards. There we go. I think that this is just a pound the rock kind of game, and it gave it to their two running back situation here. So I got it at let's confirm here 48.5. So that seems to be long gone, though this 49.5 at 365 still looks pretty good. But I bet Monty over scrimmage yards at this point, 51.5. So it ended up being a good bet, not to pat myself on the back, just the reality there. This 52 110 ESPN is decent, though not really. The 120 right here at 365 if you have it. But I really do anticipate a ground and pound game, and I'm surprised again by the rush attempt markets being where they were. Because yes, again, Dallas's run defense has been a lot better as of late, but I mean, we could look at some of the stuff on FTN and see the exactly how the split's been lately because, like, early in the season, a lot of Gibbs and a lot of mix, and then, a lot more Gibbs than Dan Quinn even saying that they want to, balance it out more. Quickly looking at FTN here, I mean, all season breaking down snap percentages here from the rushing game. Jahmyr Gibbs at 62%, Monty at 68%. And from an attempts perspective here, not really massively out attempting him, but then you look at the EPA per play on the season, and it's like I talk about and joke about all the time, but like I'm also not fully joking. Like if I had Jahmyr Gibbs on my football team, the only time he wouldn't touch the ball would be if he like really needed to take a quick breath. But every other time I give it to him, 11.69 expected points added when he touches the football on the ground versus Monty's -8. But let's look at recent weeks because I really do think there's going to be a 20-8 in week 13, week 12, bring it down 35-13. So a big, the gap is really widening there, which is unsurprising. But Monty still does do decently in the run game, in the pass game as well. So 47-19 really is that big split overall. I do want to look at the reception, just out of curiosity of what recently, at least with target wise, it'd be because no ASB, that's 26 targets out of there. Gibbs, of course, going to dominate. Even Brock Wright, I mean, is out. That's 11 targets gone right there. Then it's Monty. And then you have, of course, Ross Dwelly, Tom Kennedy, Isaac Tesla, who will be all ready to go there. So I do think it's a Monty, not like going to say a Monty game where he's the number one option or anything like that. But I am backing Monty in that particular prop market that I bet there. Then on the Dallas side, I want to actually, because I was looking very quickly at first touchdowns before I even hopped on, but based on, I want to look at Pickens like right here. Pickens 11-1. I honestly love this, and I'm going to check Lamb here quickly to see what he's at. 10-1 FanDuel though, but 9-1 Circa. Pickens having best price is interesting. I think I'm going to lock in Pickens. Just fits like my normal what I love to look for when it comes to first touchdowns. I mean, we got 200 plus 200 better than at Circa, still better than FanDuel though, not much better, but better than Kalshi and Novig. So I'm not even gonna hesitate here. George Pickens first tutty 11-1 is going to be first touchdown of the day right now. I am locking them in. TD scores. We have a 30% SGP boost on DK that we'll utilize. We also have one on FanDuel, and we have the jackpot bonus as well on FanDuel. So we'll definitely be taking advantage of that as well. But George Pickens, from a Cowboys perspective, not even really a debate for me, just from the market right there. Like that's realistically what I look for, as we've talked about many times. Plus 200 better than Circa, best price overall in market, better than FanDuel, better than Novig. So all the books that I would like to have a better price from in this market. There it is right there. So Pickens is number one. Let's look at some Lions. So that's going to be interesting. I am curious what the pricing is going to look like. Ross Dwell, this guy was like 50 to 1 a couple weeks ago. But now with the injury, it's there. And I got to, I'm going to keep looking on my other monitor here because I do want to know if ASB is officially rolled out. If you guys want to let me know in chat, that also definitely helps. But doesn't, when's the deadline? I don't know if there really is like a deadline like that. I'll keep going latest. Yeah, so still undecided, it seems, for the injury designation. A lot of fantasy players getting very interested in this as well. But like JMO, now that he is WR1, I mean, we know JMO's got crazy speed. We know that he's overall definitely talented, but Jameson Williams is definitely better to bet on as like a lower key guy when these odds are like 15 to 1, not 8 to 1. So it's not like it's been there often. See, Tesla, all he does is catch tutties, as we know, but like that's way too short of a price for me, honestly. Monty, understandably priced that way. And actually, what I'm going to do is this. Let's go back to the odds screen this way because I want to look at the lines because there's nobody that I'm really like sticking my head out there for. Like, yeah, we could look at some Tom Kennedy and some Ross Dwelly, which we have done and are doing, but we can. Did not mean to click that again. We could look at it from this view here. Same exact functionality, of course, just seeing more players at once because I am curious to see what all the market looks like now. So Monty 675 average, but circa best price. Hayden Rucci, I don't even know how to pronounce that. Hunter Lipke, that's a and we're going for a line here. Best price is at MGM and DK on Tesla, but I'm finding it hard to like buy in the hype. Now, obviously, the target share is going to be there kind of like by default if ASB isn't playing, but that also could plummet. And I can't even say the target share will be there by default. I mean, we're talking about a Amon-Ra St. Brown target share. You know what I mean? It's like we're talking about a guy who is getting a couple of targets here and there. It's the guy who's getting 6+ targets a game easily, if not a lot higher than that at times. And is also just a dog. Ross Dwelly, I mean, I'm kind of interested at 25 to 1 because they just love their tight end usage. And let's just even like confirm that. So once Brock Brett went down, they run a lot of 2 tight end stuff here. Ross Dwelly snaps. Some guys on the field. This is receiving. Goff, gets a little bit of love there. JMO, it's Jameer. There is Tesla again, expecting him to like have a bigger role overall here. Amon-Ra left with early. Brock Wright, this is 2 games. One of those games he played, I guess one he was out. If I'm not mistaken. Same with Dwelly here, 1-1, but still 34.9% of snaps. Everyone's talking about Tom Kennedy and Khalif Raymond also is banged up. But I think Dwelly is honestly very intriguing at 25 to 1. Like I said, he was 50 to 1 plus a few weeks back. So not like there's going to be a massive like we're sniping it and finding like an amazing great price or anything like that out of the blue here. That's not the case. But Tom Kennedy, I mean, just from pricing, if Circa's going to hang 15 to 1, that's interesting, just like that. But first touchdown, I mean, not so attractive, honestly. Let's dive into this game individually again because I don't know. I don't really love that. I mean, obviously, we're talking about a first tutty, so we're not talking about something that we're gonna be expecting to hit on or anything like that. But that to me is a bit interesting. But looking at this is some Jaden Blue EV, yeah, 20 to 1 here. I think it's Circa, so hard to really price though. Both these prices did go up. This was 12 to 1, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it was not too long ago. And it shot up. So give me off any Jade on Blue. Bergie, what are we getting at Circa 150? So nothing sticking out there. A little Flanoy action. Nothing at Circa, but 650 potentially for the Vandal first or last touchdown. Flanoy is decently targeted. What's Lamb? Not gonna get any value there. Saw some Mingo also, but like missed me with that shit because this is 25 to 1 here. I think this was even 12 to 1 too. No, never got that low. Never got that low. Jonathan Mingo, the guy that could and never did. Pickens. Seeing if we can find anything that we could just pick off from FanDuel that we could just add in a lay for one of the boosts. I mean, pick off from Circa and FanDuel realistically if you're looking for a lion and Gibbs. What's he minus 250? Like this is crazy, bro. Like honestly, like looking at some of the stuff here, the unders. While I think Gibbs is like definitely going to score a touchdown, like this under at 193 is like really sticking out to me as something worth betting. Like I'm not going to be shocked if JMO is scoring any touchdowns here because I mean Jameer because obviously it's Jameer freaking Gibbs, but the under at 193 like that is definitely seeming interesting enough to bet on there. All right, let's go check out the EV screen. We haven't seen if anything's popped up since. Let's dive in here. Let's see what we got for anything tonight. We're also going to obviously look for anything this weekend that comes up, but golf pass attempts at Hard Rock, a Javante under receiving yards at Rivers here. Where'd it go? Yeah, this is the Sport Trade and Bookmaker, but this is pretty across market, pretty solid. So 2.8% EV, so not anything too big there. Cavante Turpin here. Okay. Minus 110 on the under, 129, 130, 130, 2.5% EV on 4.5 rushing yards. What's his attempts looking like? Let's check here quickly. Because I don't know. That seems like it's good, right? Like we're getting 2.5% EV. It's minus 110. If he does get the rush, I feel like you could also like bank on them converting that because we know his speed and we know he gets the touches, but how many touches is he really getting? Attempts, Turpin. Last two games is 5 for 37 with 7.4 yards per carry. Doesn't necessarily mean obviously if he gets it, he's going to get it and go. But with that kind of speed and those wheels, it's probably a safe bet to think he does. Because that's actually a higher attempt than I would have thought, honestly, for him. 5 in the last 2. And just out of curiosity, we'll look full season quickly. Like how many total attempts does he have on the year? I think he missed some time, but Turpin in 7 games, 12 attempts. So more just a question of if he even gets the attempts overall. But from a price perspective, it seems to be pretty good actually. Yeah, at MGM at Hard Rock. What's going on here? Yeah, Turpin. Montgomery rushing yards over 36.5, showing value at Profit X. Also Dak 2.5 rush attempts. See, Jameson Williams over, like very small, but I feel like that's just not. I mean, obviously it's a relatively easy matchup from a receiving perspective, and the Lions, I'm sure, have things up their sleeves, but it's like, can you really trust Lamb at this point? Not Lamb, like JMO. I know he's got some big ball out games, but he's also had some absolute duds. And now with more attention on him, obviously ASB is somebody who like does a great job of helping him not have as much things to worry about because defenses are obviously so concerned about Amon-Ra and JMO can get lost in the mix. But ever since Dan Campbell did step in and start calling plays, that is when the shift started to happen where Lamb has gotten a lot more love because they spoke about how the offensive coordinators were doing a good enough job of getting GMO, different route trees and different types of plays in the mix. So now that things have kind of shifted back to Campbell, we have definitely seen a influx, and the numbers, don't lie with GMO putting up some massive games, but very low EV percentages on a lot of these things now. Unsurprising this close to game time, but just wanted to see if there's anything that pops up and out there really quickly. See, Lamb under receptions. I mean, 107, very different, but plus 102. We have again the three leg. Let me just confirm what the boosts are here. So FanDuel, it is a we have the jackpot, of course, and we have a three-leg SGP for this Lions Cowboys game. On DraftKings, we have the same thing, if I'm not mistaken. A three-leg SGP. Okay, so we can get some cooking here. Still got to get that first touchdown as well as the jackpot, which will do both of them. Absolutely. Player props. First touchdown. I mean, still not great, but let's look at some receptions markets here. See, I'm okay. This is still 2.5. Plus 137. Something I'm definitely interested in fading. Obviously, a no low number, and obviously still need the news on ASB. I'm going to do a quick refresh again to see if any official wording, 2 hours till game time here. I know they elevated the receiver, but that's also because what's his name? Khalif Raymond, I think, was banged up also. So I don't think that's necessarily a tell that it is for ASB, though it could definitely be that simple. And I'm big braining it. I mean, still this under, not from a market perspective, it's not great, but I do think it contextually, because I do believe that it could get to a point where it's just overvalued. Even Monty, I mean, I have his over rushing and receiving, but 2 receptions kind of, hates using the term, but it does make sense here. Like juiced ridiculously. Shamir Gibbs is going to be 4.5, which makes sense. But look at this. Like, I guess I get why. I mean, the total went up another point. We're already at a 55.5 point total, as high as we're really going to get in the NFL. And if we'd like the under, I mean, the books are pricing a lot of things well pointed toward overs, which obviously this game could be just as good, scoring 60 points, flying over the total by a touchdown. Everyone scored. Everyone's happy fantasy wise. They have a banger of a Thursday night game, but it also could be a good place to find some value on some unders. From pricing wise, just nothing great, but plus 138 here, kind of interesting for Jahmyr Gibbs. Receptions though would probably be hit up a big time, but I think that's probably the better way to go about it, because I do think this game stylistically could fit an under. I know everyone wants to talk about these two big offenses here, but I think at least from the Cowboy side, that defense has really improved, and I don't think there's any reason why the Lions are really should shy away from the run game unless they really are incapable of getting stops down the line here. So very interesting markets, honestly, from a pricing perspective. Let's see what the passing yards are. We're on the fast track in Detroit. Both teams obviously playing on Thanksgiving, so yes, it's a Thursday night game, but maybe you won't expect the same ugliness considering short rest isn't the thing there. But Goff at 250, essentially 249.5. What is DraftKings putting that line at? If they have 128 at 24.5. So it's going this way then. Yeah, so their baseline per se is 125.3. I like the under here because while I like Dallas, I don't think that there is a situation where it's like a blowout by any means in any way, shape, or form. I still kind of like Dallas money line, so maybe we can build one of those lays around that. But obviously with passing yards, with Bookmaker here, it is not something where if you're dealing with receiving yards or rushing yards, then a 6-yard gap is going to be massive, though we have only a 4-yard gap here or a 5-yard gap. But off Circa and Penny, maybe even FanDuel, and with how I think the game is going to go, I think that's kind of enough said here. So I'm going to add this to a lay right now. Honestly, I'm going to check something out really quickly over here, but 2, that's gonna be the first leg of the parlay. Pass yards. So this is the highest in market, 253.5. It's with Bookmaker. Um, Not EV on its own. We would have seen it come up on the EV screen, but for the parlays sake, I think it's definitely worthwhile. So pass yards OU. I mean, we'll see if I'm even allowed to parlay that. I know they have these crazy rules, okay, because like touchdown passes, you can't parlay unders on DK at times, most of the time, which is whack. But I'm adding this to the slip, not EV on its own, so not worth the straight bet. But on DK, so first things first. There is Goff under. Bit of like ball knowledge here, which we don't make all of our bets on, which is why for a parlay, which with a boost and uh low barrier to get in, my max bet's 5 bones. Unfortunately, I will gladly add that to the lay there and use the ball knowledge there. Um, and I mean kicking points, nothing I really dive into too frequently here, but again, some under. I mean, Aubrey, that massive leg here. Best price on the under is on DK. Jake Bates, I think that's his name. Uh, Everyone tied with plus 110, best odds on the over. Uh, DK offering 144, not the best price, but fun to look at. I haven't really looked at receiving yards in depth. Let's dive in again because I can see some yards being accumulated, but I do think that this is again under style, and I think that from a Cowboy standpoint, I mean a Lions standpoint, they're best off running the football. But that correlation will definitely be priced in. But JMO's at 80, 81 and a half under at DK. So like not really. Let's go back to EV quickly, then we'll dive in still manually because I think I mean it's so much better when we can just get an EV. And I want to look at the game lines actually quickly too, because if there's EV on a game line at DK, even if it's a third quarter or something a little bit obscure, I'm still interested. Uh Detroit minus 10 and a half on FanDuel. We're looking for DK here. No, no, that was quick. That was quick. Nothing EV there from a game line perspective, from my calcs at least. I mean, of course, can have your own there. And let's go back to props here and see if anything pops up for easy adds to the slip here. For everyone hopping in right now, so like more people come in. First of all, welcome. Second of all, only thing we bet so far is I bet yesterday Cowboys plus 3.5. Market doesn't agree with me currently. What are you going to do? Not hedging out or anything. Also bet David Montgomery over 48.5 rushing receiving. That was at 942 this morning, unfortunately cooked. And I bet Pickens first tutty. That's what we've locked in so far here. But we're trying to see. I like Dallas. I really do think this is an under type game, even though the market is telling me I'm wrong on Dallas, I'm wrong on the under. So obviously I do default to the market, but I am looking for building out the lays on DK. And like as you see, you guys are watching, look at my EV calcs that we've been using for 14 weeks now. Nothing popping up, which is what happens when we get later into the NFL season, especially this close to game time. So I shouldn't say I'm shocked, but a bit frustrating and just the lay of the land. But we'll find our favorite bets manually. Don't you worry. Again, high total. So I do think I don't think it's going to be, of course, like a total flop of a football game with a 55.5 total. I'm not saying that by any means, but let's pick in straight touchdown odds. Market just really purely in agreement, more or less. I don't look at Javante at all. 140. I mean, again, it's 125 at Novig, but then there's a 126 at Penny, so it's really not that great. Uh Again, not shocked, but it is like as close as I've seen it. It's again, this is what happens week 14 Thursday night. But damn, like these prices are so close. We haven't looked at past TDs, but I know we can't parlay the under on Goff. And even if I do think this is an under S game, like if there's a DAC under 2.5, which only had Circus, I was honestly intrigued by that, but that's not the reality here. Let's go back to first, and maybe we'll pick out a lion. I mean, Dwelly, is anything movement here wise? I think this was 20 to 1. Now it's 23. No, it was 22. So it did go up. Market average 22.91. So a lot of differences there. Not a lot of differences. I mean, let's go back to rush yards here. Like Turpin, we saw the 4.5 at MGM look good. Um, DraftKings 3.5 with -120, but I don't think that is EV. It's best in market. It would have shown up if it were. Um, Jameer Gibbs. Just curious what it could be here. Um, 79.5. -116. I mean, still worse than Circa, worse than Penny. Finding some good EV legs is just being a difficult thing right now. Actually, I want to look at sacks. Not something we look at frequently, but not two teams that also allow a ton of sacks either. What's Quinn Williams sacks? Out of curiosity here, more of an experiment. 0.25, 168 here. Dante Fowler, not even priced. Okay, so not even worth it. We can obviously look at Hutch. Just curious on what these kind of markets are looking like here. A full sack versus a quarter, 136 to 134. I mean, under a sack plus 105. I mean, it's the best in market when there's, nothing really else pricing it that way. Epic fantasy, but that's look at that 122 each way. I don't even know what this is. Parlay play. So hard pressed to believe that there really is like a value in that pick there on Hutchinson under sack or anything like that. Tough with like out ASB and knowing for sure, though all signs I think are pointing to it. Any news there? And either way, like how healthy can he be? Like how explosive, how much pain can he tolerate? Um, I don't think I can't be anything crazy. Now, all right, for this DK lay, we have Pickens' first touchdown. The odds are it will be good to market with the boost. Um, I was on Lamb on Christmas. I mean, Christmas on Thanksgiving that hit. Like this will be good to market with the boost. So I'm going with George Pickens anytime. So right now it's Goff under passing yards, Pickens anytime. And part of me wants to bet the under and the Cowboys. Now I hate putting game lines and parlays like this because we're trying to pick off numbers, but I mean like realistically, like that's like what I do think are like two of my favorite bets on the game. Now, definitely some arrogance there talking about two bets that the market has moved against, but I don't know, Pickens anytime, Goff under passing yards, like, that's just such a bad bet though. Like it really is. Let's do some let's see if there's an alternate spread that has the best price of DK that could be worth adding in there, or an alternate total. I mean, because as it stands, it just is. This one probably better up betting the money line, and we're talking about again about a for me at least a $5 max bet on DK. So I'm not sweating about uh adding some risk here. Definitely prefer to find a winner for the boys. 120, Dallas plus 2.5, 114, 127. I mean, it's just bad to market these alternate prices, unfortunately. He's tied with Novik here, 166. Best odds are on Sport Trade there. 184. Don't want to get necessarily this crazy because even circa Dallas minus 3.5 is 265. So reason why these aren't showing up in the EV calcs and because there just isn't EV on DK here. On the money line, again, same concept. We'll get a value. So I'm going to take out Cowboys plus 3.5, and I'm going to put Cowboys money line. With a boost, we're still not there. Oh, I actually accidentally took out Pickens touchdown, which is probably going to be priced poorly with correlation. But actually, no. Goff under passing yards, Cowboys money line, and Pickens touchdown with the boost is 1170. I'm betting that. Obviously, a lot going on there. A bit of market fade, and even some correlation, of course, with the fade for Goff, though, again, how much do you even correlate that? Because if you have the Cowboys winning, maybe anticipate a game script for passing yard overs. But no, that's what I'm using the DK boost on. Actually, just let me build it on FanDuel quickly, though. Actually, no, because we're getting like better odds from the yardage perspective on DK there. Got another FanDuel boost, got a FanDuel jackpot to lock and load. We've hit 2 of them this year. Let's make it a 3. Obviously, with the year counting down, but it's been barren, boys, from an EV perspective, and we've talked about it forever. Week 14 Thursday, just all the value just munched up. Even for Sunday, not a lot of popping as it stands right now. Like Dak over there at Javonte Williams under, Gibbs, Monty. This Turpin's still there, 4.5. Very low, obviously, for rush yards, but he could definitely get that on 1 attempt, definitely on 2. But if he even gets 1 attempt is a different question. Alternate lines for Dak there. What's the rest of the market at there for Dak 300? I mean, yeah, like this is great on 365. You have 365, absolutely be betting this. 8.8% EV, 190 the rest of the market. If you still have a 365, definitely bet that. This Gibbs on profit, 115 for attempts. Dillon's at 108. I do like. I think this could be really a Lions on the ball 30 plus times today. I think that's probably their best path to winning if they can establish it against the Cowboys run D that we've said a few times. Been much better, and Quinn Williams has been a dog for them. Let's see. Keep refreshing right now for ASB. 9 minutes ago. Not practice this week, but with Amon-Ra, I think he's definitely one of those guys who gets the benefit of the doubt that even if he doesn't practice, he's vet enough to set his own. He doesn't need to practice to get himself into a game like this. Let's go back to this view. Don't need to be forcing anything really either. That's also just part of it, right? Like we're trying to have some fun as always. Primetime game. We want 2 first touchdowns, but the odds are just so not great. So Circa has a price up for ASB at 9-1. CD, Dak, Monty 8-1. Best at Circa, so I don't love that. That Pickens 11-1 is still there, but we bet this and don't expect it to move just this second. Gibbs 5-1, best at Circa. Bergie as well. Jameson Williams, I mean, best price at DK, but only 500 or 50 better. I don't love that from pricing. Might be Dwelly, as dumb as it sounds. MGM also with their little second chance boost if you have that. So if he scores a second touchdown. Defense, I mean, that's kind of crazy. Tom Kennedy, I mean, from a pricing perspective, it looks good. I just find it hard to believe that Tom Kennedy really is the hope here. I mean, this has dropped significantly, but is that just strictly due to like the fact that he's a guy who'll be on the football field, or because his numbers are better than you think? I'm going to anytime just to see. Do Circa have a price on him anytime, or are they just kind of throwing him up in like a gimmick per se? See, like that's what I hate. I mean, like Circa, not talking shit about them. They do some amazing things from a bookmaking perspective, but you're gonna put the first touchdown at a bad price or a low price. Put the anytime at least as well. Even if you not even taking your standard limits on it or something like that. Put up the anytime for shits. Back to first. This game, like it's for such a game that's so like exciting and has potential to be like one of the better games of the season. Like again, I do think it's an under in Dallas spot, but if I'm watching this game and these teams score 65 plus combined and there are Lamb's putting up 2 tutties, Gibbs is scoring 2 tutties, J-Mo's getting in, and Pickens is getting in, I wouldn't be shocked. And the prices are reflecting that. I mean, even if we put together like an over nuke, like just I'm doing this for like argument's sake right now. On FanDuel, if I even bet because I think like a Lamb or a Pickens are definitely good for 2 plus. I mean, let's go back to any time because maybe I am thinking about 2. I'm trying to find some things that are like on the lower key end, or I'm looking for some unders and I'm not finding enough value. Maybe like the move is to bet some 2 plus here. Like honestly. Maybe for the FanDuel boost, well, the DraftKings one was like cowboy centric as like a bit of an upset. Maybe for the FanDuel one, we play with the concept of it just being a potential high scoring fest, and we bet some alternate lines, even though the lines seem high in some places. No, we just take them even over. Like CD2 tutties is 9-1 here, not priced at circa, which is a bit annoying. They do offer that sometimes, and while I do respect FanDuel in these markets, like that's interesting to me. Like let's open it up here and just put some slips together. Have 30% boost. This is good to market. And like I mean, then we look at the Cody Brown AI generated FanDuel owned same game parlay. Dak over Gibbs. I mean, it's 467. So that's what we're getting. And I'm gonna definitely give myself and I told you so if this ends up being a such a low scoring game. Such a low scoring, I don't think again that means it's gonna be a 14-7 kind of game. I don't think that's possible, but a 21-24, couple of points here under by a good margin, I think is live. And I could just put my money where my mouth is there and bet some alternate crazy unders, but I trust the market, or I respect the market at least. Okay, so we're going to start. We have that Lamb 2 plus. I think even on that first straight bet, I'm ball knowledge wise, I'm intrigued by. Jameer Gibbs 2 plus, yeah, is plus 215. So no, thank you. What's a Monty touch? If that's a plus 215, then what's a Monty anytime? Because now I think we're at a point where we looked at the numbers earlier at FTN, like it clearly is. The full shift is in, as it should be, because he's insane, Jameer Gibbs. But how is Monty only minus 115 compared to Gibbs being 260? Like, again, these are priced so far toward the for the over. Like it really is. I feel like I just gotta check. Like, what can we get some crazy alternate totals at? Like some unders. I don't want to like ignore. Maybe I'll just put together because I can put together a couple of slips. Like it doesn't really make a difference. Um, like under 47.5 at 220. Same price all across the board here. 3K limits, almost 10K. Obviously now we're like 10 points below. So I honestly would like a bit better, not gonna lie, than 280. 320 FanDuel at under 44.5. Of course, 44 being a key number, but a 21-24 would kill us. So this is probably not worth it. I would like better pricing on these unders, honestly. Alternate unders. But when you're buying points like this, I mean, not something that you would expect to happen. But I had to take a look just to see if there was anything that like really stuck out and was like, nah, like bet this. All right, so let's lean into it. Because of the lack of, I mean, even let's go back here quickly and just click these buttons. Like Lamb 2 plus, yeah. Bro, this in itself is plus 900. And you add a 260. I mean, there's definitely people in here, I'm sure, watching that can price these things quicker in their heads than I can. That doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. And I'm quickly pulling it up on DraftKings when the odds are worse to see what that would be, because that is baffling to me. That's the price I just bet. The fact that that's not 10-1 with already 900 leg and only a minus 260, and we're talking about a touchdown nonetheless. Ridiculous. On DK, it's 950, and that's with Lamb 2 TDs being 7 plus 750. That is bonkers, man. I can't even donate my money properly to FanDuel. I'm trying to take a terrible bet, and they didn't even let me. And if you think I'm adding a 260 to get this to 993, wasn't that 996 12 seconds ago also? Um, I would rather bet this straight. S- s- Straight up. I'd rather bet that straight. Um, Seeing most receiving yards of the game. Lamb, of course, chalk. Pickens right there. JMO. Yeah, not dabbling deeper in that market today. That's not a place where I'm interested in being. And rushing, probably not either. But I'm curious. Gives 155. Yeah, don't expect would never bet Monty at this point. Um, I can't believe I had that happen. So what? The only other alternative, not the only other alternative, but an alternative would be to go this way: 1340 DK 13 flat. But that again is with Lamb being plus 750. So that just doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, it makes sense on why they're doing it, but like I just like I'm trying to make a bad bet. I'm like a fun fuck around bet, and it's just like making it so difficult. um the pitfalls of I guess being price sensitive, which shouldn't be the case. Even just for like fuck's sake, because that's 115. Like, what is Lamb 2 plus is 850? Like, I guess I'll check like an MGM. I might as well check them all at this point. Caesars, I don't think you can SGP 2 plus touchdowns because they're crazy. I don't know if you can MGM. This is again just for fun here. Let's just see what it would be. So the odds are better on both. Like the odds on FanDuel for Lamb 2 plus is the best, and I'm honestly probably just gonna bet that straight, depending on what this ends up being. We looked at this Turpin, which you can't combine. So maybe you can't combine a 2 plus touchdown, or maybe you have to click it from their special SGP menu. No, that's good. And then anytime SGP. I guess you can't. I mean, the fact that they both say SGP next to them, you can't combine them. Obviously not even logged in, so like the fact that I can't even see that. Um, yo, do you see this shit? 800, the other team, anytime touchdown. Jameer Gibbs the chalk brings it down to 675. And then if I want to do Monty, it brings it down to 850. And the worst part of it all is I can just bet Lamb straight without any of this nonsense at 9 to 1. That's just like I'm dumbfounded. I'm betting the Lamb 9 to 1. Screw the pricing. 13-19. Like I don't even want Monty touchdown. That was kind of just like a market fade of like, okay, look at the price on Gibbs. It's screwed. Like, I mean, actually, quickly, quickly. All season, and I'm gonna break it down here. I want to see what the red zone rushing attempts are really looking like for Detroit, because I didn't dive fully in that way, though I think I have an inkling of what we'd be expecting. But this is full season. Goal line 12. Interesting. I know if we do, more recently, but that was last weekend. 1 for Monty, which I think he scored if I'm not mistaken. Um, 2 for Monty. Goal line still being a Monty, though snaps are still up for Gibbs, and we know Gibbs can score from 99 if he needed to because he's a freaking animal. Receiving, uh, end zone targets are very different than red zone targets. I wouldn't expect, I guess, either to have red zone targets. I mean, I would expect Gibbs to have end zone targets potentially, but not Monty. But I would expect maybe a red zone target. Difference, of course, being red zone's 20 in. The end zone is literally thrown into the end zone. We have a red zone, not end zone on FTN. I don't think so. Which I do love the end zone. Don't get me wrong, but I would still like to see like within the 20 as well, because it is a different situation. Um, Long story short, then I'm actually a little bit more interested in Monty than I thought. I guess the problem is one, the pricing being horrific, and two, just like again, Gibbs can score from anywhere. Um, Lamb just dropped to 7-1. I think I'm done messing around where I'm just gonna actually just screw Monty, screw whatever. It's still a 9-1 bet. I like, and it's the best in market. Um, Wait, can I put my jackpot on that? But I don't think it. I think it actually. Hold on. No, you can't. Okay, that makes sense. I'm betting CD2 plus. Done. CeeDee Lamb, 2 plus touchdowns, 9-1, best in market. Wanted to give a crazy donation with some other stuff, but like it just doesn't. It wasn't meant to be. I'll just put it that way. When I'm looking at every single book and I'm losing value by adding a player that's even like -110, like not like Monty was Gibbs wise, and either way, why would it really make a difference here in a game that I don't even think should be priced this high in the first place? Um, like all right, books. You win this battle, man. You win this one. Give me Lamb 2 plus. I have Pickens first just because of pricing, because price is always going to rule everything. I could see both of them getting in, obviously. But Lamb 2 plus with the market there, I like, and still have the FanDuel boost to use and the jackpot bonus. So we are not done just yet. Don't worry. But where's Pickens? 2 plus 9-1 also. Same price overall here. Um, I'm just still shocked at how MGM. I mean, I wasn't expecting it to decrease or literally be the same price when you added anytime Tutty that's uncorrelated to -115. Like, I don't know, maybe everyone saw what was going on with Novig, and even the license books were like, "Hey, we gotta tighten up today." All right. Let me look at the EV screen and see if things are popping up. I mean, can I have a stream where I'm sitting there all day and just waiting for things to pop up? And while it would be some great content, some a little boring at times. Would definitely be profitable content. Um, let's see. DAC again at 365. Both of those are good, though that 8% EV on the 300 plus is great. Monty over at Novig. I mean, I love that that's there. Javante. What if he's gonna have rush attempt? This is interesting just from like a game theory perspective, because if he's gonna touch the ball 15 times on the ground, Gibbs's line was 18.5, Monty's line was 8.5. How much clock is gonna be ticking? In that case, a lot. A lot of clock. That kind of makes me want to bet the not just the flat under, though I do like, and honestly, even at this point, this close to game time, looks like I mean the best available from a total at 55.5. I mean, I mean, there's only $117 there at Novig, so can give that out. 55. MGM 110, but that's still worse than Circa, Penny, and Bookmaker. So really just not going to find a great price, unfortunately. 55.5 under 113, 108. This 113 at Caesars honestly is not too bad. Not best in market, but as somebody who likes the under, I mean, this 111, of course, but let's check out the liquidity here. 112 has 11K. So it would be a Novik spot, absolutely. I'm betting it. I've been talking too much about it, honestly, and I'm pulling up Novik and betting that under. There's more than enough liquidity. A lot of my computer, get on my phone, get in there quickly. I talked about all week why. I talked about it yesterday, even though I ended up betting Dallas, which I still do like, don't get me wrong. I'm not anti-Dallas. Um, Transactions. Okay. No, but I'm even though it's game time, and not like I'm dying to run in here and bet shit on game time. Um, I still do think that actually just is a good bet. Like I'm anti-market on both, which is like unfortunate. It's annoying. Um, Obviously I don't love that that's the case, but I'm riding, man. Adding it to the tracker right now. Can't type. But we're on the under. I mean, I'm on the under. Feel free to tell if you want. If you want to fade, feel free. If you're already ahead, sitting there with over 53 and a half because you got a great price on Sunday night or even last Friday because this game's obviously been up for a minute with Thanksgiving. Shout out to you guys, but we'll see. We'll see. Um, Still, with that being said, FanDuel boost and the jackpot not going to leave any of those stones unturned. Sticking, I guess, with some ball knowledge here. Um, for the touchdown, we're not going to find something that's so off price. This is going to have to be a situation where we are, in fact, just like going with someone we think can score the first or the last touchdown. I haven't bet a line first HUD, and I still don't know if that's going to be happening, honestly. Um, Player prop, we'll go through all of them. First, anytime, build out the FanDuel boost, look at the EV screen one more time, and we'll go from there. Um, First, again, I had Pickens 11-1, and like Tesla 12-1. I'm not interested. It's kind of Gibbs or bust. This is the last run through. Honestly, I think I'm gonna Drelly went back up. Kennedy 15-1. I'm not betting a line. Doesn't mean I don't think the Lions can't score first touchdown or anything like that. Value wise, I'm not betting a line. Anytime for the FanDuel boost here. Um, Honestly, could just be the dumbest bet ever in bet Gibbs. Like, but if he hits, that bonus bet's gonna be dog. Um, Dak honestly is intriguing for this promo, first or last, because we know Dak in a playoff type game, which this absolutely is. Both teams fighting for their lives. Well, quarterbacks get a little frisky, and the 725 at MGM honestly is like not too shabby, but we're promo hunting now with the boost. I think Monty's not the worst because I could see a world where everyone's just hammering Gibbs. Like I don't think I'm the only person sitting here thinking like it's a bit crazy that Monty, who gets more goal line touches, where this Gibbs can again score from 99 out, should be this low. So maybe Pickens. I mean, the fact that he's 125 to circa at 110, did this just move? It did. No, 613. Oh, so it did on stream. Absolutely. Because that was not there before. Um, we have his first touchdown. I'm into double down, honestly. We have Pickens' first touchdown on DK, and now using the boost for Pickens on the jackpot, uh, placing the 5 just to get involved. Don't need to do anything crazy there. Um, so I feel protected with Dallas. I mean, CD scores 2, and I'm good. Pickens scores at any point in the game, ideally first, double good. Um, I'm not mad about that at all. I should like that realistically. Um, all right, Pickens for the anytime. JMO here. Javante. Haven't looked at anything Javante, but if anything, it'd be a fade for me, realistically. I have the under, so I hope he just run. None of them on the under. All right. Let's go through the EV screen one more time, then we'll build out a final FanDuel parlay with the boost, then call it a day. No qualms with me having some overlapping stuff here. I actually don't mind it at all. I actually like that I have what I have with the Lamb too, but the Pickens in two different capacities there. Especially if he scores that first one, man, I'm gonna be hyped. See, this is interesting. I mean, just not enough liquidity, not enough information, man, to bet it. I mean, normally I stream at 7, as you guys know, on game day. I just had to change schedules here quickly for today. But it is curious to see how the boards are different, at this point in the week, like an hour of difference is here. We'll see how things close. Let's go check game lines one time, but it looks like we're building another manual. And because I have the under, I think I'm going to build like an under-esque nuke in the sense where I'm going to lean into the under and maybe some reverse correlation there, honestly. Just see again if there's anything. Dallas here. Alternate over there. But we're looking just for FanDuel specifically, as that's where the boost is. And just seeing any EV we can pick up. Did I miss something there? Nope. Okay, nothing FanDuel related. So now we're gonna build a delay. I already have an idea of what I want to do here, so this will be quick. We'll move on and call it. So alternate under. How low? I don't think I'm gonna go too low here. Like, we'll see what the prices are at, like, just honestly under 51.5. Not even offered. Oh, there it is. 136 to 140 at Kalshi and Novig. So I don't love, but it's not horrible. We'll be boosting it. 52.5. That's not enough. The 180 on 49.5, 48.5, 200. Same price here on 47.5. I think that's with the move as circa, because then we'll boost that. But we're going with under 47.5 alternate. If this game flies over, I mean, listen, the market told you, and I'm the dumb one for going against it there. Where is it? Popular. Alternate total under 47.5. Then honestly, I'm cool with back to touchdowns there. I mean, from a pricing perspective, Lamb is still the best price of them. Or I mean, Pickens was the best price. And I don't mind doubling back in on Pickens. And so from a financial dollar perspective, it's not like I have a lot. Just from like a slip perspective, it's a lot, but that doesn't really make a difference. It's like it's the same price. I know I do respect FanDuel in these senses, but it is better than Penny, Novig, Penny, Circa, Kalshi. So I'm throwing Pickens again in that. Even that itself is 791. And then I'm going to throw in Monty. So 2 touchdowns and an alternate under 27.50 with the boost. That's what I'm talking about. That doesn't seem like, I don't think it's amazing price-wise, but that's the kind of stuff from a correlation reverse that I'm interested in. Little alternate under, Pickens again, and a David Montgomery. So that's going to wrap it up, boys. I haven't bet a line, and honestly, I don't think I'm going to. Maybe when the Amon-Ra news fully comes out, I'll double check, but won't be on stream at that point, but locked in. So FD boost is under 47.5. Pickens anytime, and Monty anytime. Sorry, just getting this in the tracker. Dallas under. I bet the under. Minus 112 at Novig. CD Lamb, 2+ touchdowns. DK boost. Jared under 253.5 passing. Pickens anytime. Cowboys money line. Pickens first touchdown. Dallas plus 3.5. And David Montgomery over 48.5 rushing receiving, which was bet earlier in the week, boys. So probably not bettable at this point, but thank you guys all for hopping in. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that like button. Helps the channel grow big time. I'll be back on stream Sunday for the 10:30 a.m. on time. No different timing. As always, 10:30 a.m. Sunday for an epic stream loading. So I'll see you guys then. Have a rest of your night, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace, boys.